Welcome back to Fire Emblem Thracia 776. Last time we defeated the Baron in Black in a very silly way. Now it is time to rescue our mentor. In the other chapter that I feel causes Thracia to truly live up to its reputation, alongside 22. It's time for Chapter 24X, a candidate for one of the worst chapters in Fire Emblem history. So firstly, this is a Fog of War chapter. It's the last one in the game, so if you have any more torches or torch staves, you want to use them now, there's no more left. And we get to deploy up to 16 units and a minimum of 8. I am going to try and low-man this chapter as much as possible to save on fatigue for the end, because I only have 5 more stamina drinks, and I need to use one on Sara, otherwise she won't be able to restore Avel. You must bring Sara and the Kia staff to this map if you want to actually get the main benefit out of it. Technically, you also get experience, and there's also some chests here, but if you're going to this map, you are going here for Avel. Other than that, you are split into 2 groups here. Every even-numbered slot, including Leaf, goes to the left-hand side of the map and will take a longer time to get around, whereas every odd-numbered choice goes to the right-hand side and will start alongside Leaf. Now, this is also an escape map, so anybody who doesn't leave is considered dead. So be prepared to be able to exit the map with every character you brought here. The map is also full of berserkers with Wrath, so things that can 1-2 range them or 1-round them on the enemy phase are useful, as is potentially the Nile skill if you still have it. Marita's sword does possess this, as do Syas if you have him, and also Trude. You also want a lockpicker or door keys, because in this map you must either warp Leaf or open a door in order to exit the map and finish it. If you have neither of those things, that is like no keys, no lockpicks, and no ability to warp, this map's actually soft-locked. Speaking of which, you might also want to bring rescue staves if you have them. Warp and rewarp are also insanely useful here. Okay, I was about to say this physically pains me to do, but I'm going to sell the member card because there's no use for it. You can't sell it anyway, so I get to keep it as a trophy regardless. Okay, Leaf has the Flame Sword for potential 1-2 range. Yeah, given how good he is in my run, he's going to be one of my mainstay combat units in this map, which is good because that'll mean he soaks up all the fatigue. He's got an extra door key in case I need it, Ensorcel, and a torch and a pure water for other people to take off him if they need it. Olwen is here for a certain thing that I might want to do with her that I really hope works, but it may not. Perna's here for his lockpicking utility. He's also got a couple of items that I will be transferring to Sara at some point later in the map, hopefully. Lenoan is here to just ridiculously tire herself out with staves. I do not care about her fatigue because I don't want to bring her to endgame anyway. So, because she has an A in staves, she's going to be using Warp, Berserk, Silence, Rescue, anything I need. Marita is here to talk to Avel, but she also has the Sleep and Berserk edges. An extra door key in case I need it. Ossian is my backup person for the Olwen thing if Olwen doesn't work. Also, he's just generally good 1-2 range. And Ced is here. Now, Ced's fatigue is quite high, and if I have him use any staves, he probably will reach above the fatigue threshold, which is a bit problematic because I want him in endgame. However, if I have to stamina drink him, it's not the end of the world. And he's really the main person I can bring who can both use A staves and also not get one-tap captured or one-shotted by enemies. Whereas Safi's not fatigued, but if I brought her, then she would get one or both of those things, because there are berserkers everywhere. Alright, I haven't actually selected Sara yet, because she has Stamina Drink, which is unfortunate because it means she has one less inventory slot, but she's also got Sleep, Kia, Rewarp, Restore if I need it, and also Silence. And I haven't even gone into the main gimmick of this map yet, and it's part of what makes this one of the worst maps of all time. Yeah, definitely has that creepy final dungeon vibe going for it. And it's also super, super dark. And this dialogue right here. This is why I didn't want to explain the map gimmick until now. The Loptrians have worked their foul magic to place invisible traps throughout this area. They can be walked across safely, but once one stands on them for too long, that means specifically using the wait command. If you do any other command, like attack or open a door, it's fine, but if you use the wait command, the trap triggers, and you're teleported to a nearby execution chamber. I don't know exactly where these traps are, but we should not linger for too long near doors or staircases or in narrow corridors. If one of our own should happen to be teleported to the execution chamber, however, there is no exit. We must use our own teleportation magic to retrieve them. In fact, we'll have to use the Loptrians' own magic against them to find Veld. An enchanted circle in the central chamber teleports one directly to the altar he's retreated to. So that right there, this part of the conversation was in the original game as well. After we've rescued Lady Avol, we should make our way there and use the circle to finally confront Veld. Above all else, my prince, stay calm and advance slowly and carefully. That was also in the original. You've come too far to get careless now. So, the gimmick of this map are invisible warp tiles, just like the forest from Chapter 16b. If you step on these, you get warped down to this room at the bottom of the map, which has no exit outside of a rescue staff or rewarping somebody in and warping them out, and having them use a warp staff to get the person out. And this room has endlessly spawning, well, mostly endlessly spawning, from turn 1 to turn lots, heroes and snipers. There are also 2 Loptrians in here with warp staves, whose job is to warp, heroes and snipers to your positions. They have 2 warp staves each, so in total there are 12 warps to go through, before they run out. You can send somebody here on purpose to kill or silence those warpers, and not have to deal with those reinforcements, which might be a good thing. But remember that if somebody goes here, you need a rescue staff to get them out. Also, in the middle of the map is a generic boss with a berserk staff and 2 sidekicks, one with a sleep staff and one with a silence staff. These guys would normally not be that much of an issue. The problem is they're standing on altar terrain, which is this terrain right here that Avol's room is in. Altar terrain gives plus 10 magic. So the status staff users in here actually have magic stats high enough to silence and sleep even your casters. And that's potentially scary if you don't have any means of using restore staffs. So a few ways to deal with them include warping somebody in that room to start killing them immediately, because you are allowed to warp to dark spaces. Having somebody run all the way up here with the aid of a dancer and use a torch staff to see into this room, and then use pure water boosted silence, sleep, or berserk staves to neutralize the 3 statuses in here. I'd recommend doing that as soon as possible, because otherwise those ailments really do add up. Now about that teleportation gimmick again. Remember that conversation that August just gave us explaining the gimmick? That wasn't there in the Japanese version! Yep, the fan translation had to make up dialogue from the freaking whole cloth, entirely to explain a gimmick of this map that was never alluded to in the Japanese script, that can get your people permanently killed if you don't bring rescue staffs, because there's an escape map, and if somebody goes to the execution chamber and you can't get them out, they're gone. Forever. This is one of the few times in the game I would argue that Thracia is outright badly designed. And so close to the end of the game, too. And I just realized that I have to restart because I need to put a door key in this group. Oh, and of course, Avol's up here. She is stone, so you will need Sarah's Kia staff to restore her, after which she becomes an NPC unit, and you can talk to her with either Leaf or Merida to recruit her. But that's going to be the least of our worries, because my first plan is... Okay, good, well, no one ended up here. I'm going to try and have Olwen be my warp person. Because, yeah, here we go. Now, so yeah, depending on their random magic rolls, 19 magic, oh boy, yeah, that guy can sleep anybody he wants to. And that guy can berserk nearly anybody he wants to. So the reason why Olwen is here is because the plus 10 magic combined with her Blessed Sword means that she won't be taking a lot of damage from these Loptrians, like, really at all. Or she can go for Dire Thunder, in which case, they do stand something of a chance of hurting her, but the thing is that she has Vantage as well. Okay, with Sara's magic stat, she actually is able to silence both, that Loptrian and the boss, so it is the other one that Olwen needs to kill. I think I'll go for this guy first. Now, I should also mention that this map apparently also counts for the Berserk glitch. If you're able to Berserk this guy, which it's definitely possible with if he rolls low in his magic stat, because his stats are random, or with a Pure Water or Ensorcel boosted thing, if you Berserk him, then the enemies will suffer from the Berserk glitch and will be able to target themselves, like their own side with staves. The problem is, I tried this, and they still targeted my units with their status staves, so yeah. Not really gonna go for that. Right now, I'm gonna just go for immediately taking this guy out. Now, this might leave the Berserk Staff in play. I could reload my saves until Sara gets a Vigor proc, but I'm gonna just wait and see how things go for now. Because one person Berserk should be fine, given that we have Restore people on both sides, unless they decide to Berserk my Restore people. Because I know that Sara's immune. I actually think Ced needs to pop the Pure Water this turn, in case he ends up getting Berserk. Now, Marisa is gonna just run in. I also need to check my map to see where the warp tiles are. There are no warp tiles in this corridor. So yeah, there's a Berserker there. Just wanted to make sure that I didn't end up getting trapped. Okay, if Leaf fights the Berserker, Ced can take the Pure Water off of him. The problem is, these Berserkers have Wrath, so if you're fighting them on player phase, you either want to make sure, in fact, you probably should do it from range, if you're fighting them on player phase, or use a Brave Weapon. So from range, how much do I do? Still not great. Okay, so... they also have Devil Axes, by the way, so their attack power is terrifying, and their stats are really high. They do have some torches, though. Okay, yeah, here's the question. Do I trust Leaf to actually not get Wrath crit from that? Probably not. I may have to use the Kingmaker entirely for its Brave effect here. On the plus side, these Berserkers give really good experience. And if that had hit, that would have been Leaf dead. So, yeah, that was a bit of a risky play there. That's why I said good ranged attackers are very, very useful here. But yeah, now Ced is gonna, just to be absolutely sure that my Restore person doesn't end up getting berserked. I don't think it will be him, because they do go based on HP. Oh, okay. Oh, actually, that means I don't need to worry about that, because I can, in fact, I'll need to trade the Sleep Staff back, but I should be able to put the boss to sleep now. It won't get rid of the boss's authority stuff. Oh, no, he doesn't have any authority anyway, so that's actually fine. So yeah, let's go ahead and trade that over. Sleep Staff. Yeah, didn't actually get the Vigor proc on Sara, but I did get it on Ced, and either works. So yeah, turning their own ailments against them here. But it's extremely important to shut down those three ASAP, otherwise you'll have problems. And yeah, this being an escape map, anybody who falls asleep and you can't get them out, they're also effectively dead. So, Pern, right, yeah, Pern is going to go ahead and activate a torch. Don't want to accidentally use my life rings. Just so I can see some more Berserkers coming. Yep, there's a Berserker down here. They also all have hammers, which is why I didn't bring Xavier. And here, I guess, I can go ahead and trade over the door key and then open that door. Uh-oh, it's the enemy turn! So yes, every turn, 4 rewarp Loptrians will spawn. And that can easily choke up the main hallways. The other reason why I like warping somebody into the central room is it distracts the, why'd you use the hammer? I've asked that of a few enemies. Guess you're really scared of the Devil Axe backfire. Yeah, it lures in the, rewarp Loptrians. Because, like, enemies like to warp where your people are already surrounded by other enemies. Oh, hi there! Yep, there was a Berserker right there. Okay, that's fine. Nice rep. Ah, I hate it when I leave them on 1 HP and have to use up an extra weapon use with my Wrath guy. I guess with Olsian, I'm kind of fighting fire with fire against these Berserkers. Because, you know, I've got my own Wrath Axe user. Okay, you are... I had a feeling you'd go for Marita. Devil Axe, huh? That's thankfully not a one-shot. For a second, my brain went to Awakening and was like, oh no, what if he has counter and I die? But no. Yeah, like, oftentimes, like, I mean, there are games where warrior/berserkers are, like, really weak, but there are other games where they're pretty scary, and, in Awakening, it's because they have counter, and in, this game, it's because they have Wrath. But yeah, the Loptrians are going to be lured towards my central warp person, and that is hopefully going to draw them away from the rest of my group. Because, like, in general, these Loptrians with rewarp, I mean, they do have hell. So I was gonna say, like, you know, they're not exactly a big threat, but, they kinda are. However, the thing with them is that, the main thing they do is they clog the hallways, so your main group just gets stuck fighting an endless stream of them, and aren't able to escape the map, or at least it just takes them forever to escape the map. And obviously, the longer this map goes on, the worse it is, so... okay. I am wondering whether I still use the Blessed Sword, or because, like, what is Hell's chance of hitting her? They have 50% chance of hitting her, and then the Jormungand's have a, and they do damage. Okay, so yeah, if she gets hit by Hell, and then, gets, I mean, granted, I do have Vantage, so if I do go for Dire Thunder, I'm basically counting on myself to Vantage kill them before things become a problem. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit, I know it's a bit of a funny expression, and attempt to go for, the Dire Thunder Vantage combo, and see how that does. Okay, that was a crit. But yeah, basically, because I am also on the altar tile, we're effectively at parity. My plus 10 magic is cancelled by their plus 10 magic. So it's our raw, we're reduced down to our raw magic stats. So now the question is whether I send somebody down into the execution chamber or... I don't know if Pern with his torch can get there. Because I do have a torch staff on Leaf if I need to use that with Sed, but... yeah, either I deliberately send somebody down there, because I would like to silence those warpers with Lenoan, because that way I, okay. Let's see how far Pern can see if he goes here. Aha! I can see them! But yeah, so here are the reinforcements. Ven and Bogai, and... yeah, these guys have sleep edges too. Not very accurate, but if they do hit you, it's gonna hurt. So, Lenoan's gonna start heading down this corridor, and now she's gonna... actually... I guess maybe Berserk will be more fun. You won't be able to use your Warp Staves, and the other enemies in the room might kill you. And yeah, I'll check your inventory. Yeah, they have 2 Warp Staves each. I mean, it's tempting to send a Thief down and steal those if they have enough con for it, but, I'd probably... that requires using a Rescue Staff to get them out. So now, do I sleep or silence? I guess I can silence this one. So yeah, this means I will never need to worry about those heroes or, snipers coming in to attack me. I am, I hope I don't end up, you know, trivializing this map too much, but it's this map. It deserves it. It deserves all of the cheese. Speaking of which, okay, I'm pretty sure there is another Berserker up here somewhere. And be very careful, because up here, there's a door around there, and that I mean, okay, wait, Set is, Okay, Ced's not fatigued yet. I wonder if I should pop Torch with... Wait, no, in order to do that, I need to actually trade over with Leaf, and I'm kind of hoping that I, We'll see. Okay, so, don't want to equip Blizzard while the Berserkers are around. Yeah, there is a Berserker up here somewhere, and I'm not going to be able to attack him. And see, this door, so the rewarping Loptrians are in here, but in front of that door is a warp tile. So don't end your turn right in front of that door. But I can have Leaf go over here and, cover... I can equip the Brag. Okay, yeah, there's the Berserker. He has a torch. So yeah. It's funny how they actually made an effort to give the enemies torches, but they didn't actually give any of the enemies door keys. If they'd given a single enemy a door key, this map wouldn't have been softlockable because you could just capture them for the door key, but yeah. Also, lol. And he's now asleep rather than berserked, but, which means none of the other enemies will attack him, but oh well. He's still neutralized for the rest of the map. Now I thought you'd go for Marita as well. I'm pretty sure they don't one-shot her. They do a lot of damage, though. And I only brought one Fortify Staff, which I probably shouldn't have done that, but we'll see how that works out. Okay, so here we go. Let's see now if the Diath Under Vantage thing works. I mean, I have 99 hit on them. And I'm kind of two-shotting them. So this should hopefully clear a bunch of them out. Eventually, I don't even need to, like, really fight the rewarping ones. Even then, I'll only need to fight them every other turn, because they, you know, they use up their turns to rewarp, so here we go. See, Vantage on Olwen was not that great for me earlier on in the game, but it's going to really serve me well here. So while this Vantage enemy phase action is going on, I guess I can just mention something. One thing I do kind of worry about is, I really hope that the last few chapters of this are not feeling too anticlimactic, because I know that I'm using a lot of warp cheese here. In fact, like, I am holding back. I could be using even more warp cheese. Like, this is by far not even the most you can warp cheese these chapters. Like, I've seen some people in the comments section on my video of Chapter 23, the one with Ced, actually say they've never even seen the Wyverns show up, because they always just warp skip the map on turn 1. So, yeah, I could be doing even more with the crazy warp cheese. But, I am reminded of, there was a Let's Play of, Mario and the first Mario and Luigi that I remember hearing about, where the person who did it, it was Lucajin, by the way, and, like, apparently there was a little bit of, kind of drama in the comment section over the fact that, in the last few parts, she used the ridiculously overpowered Mush Badge, which boosts your attack power based on the number of mushrooms in your inventory. She used that to essentially one-shot all of the endgame bosses before they even got a turn, and that just kind of felt really anticlimactic. So, I really hope that's not how I'm making this game seem, like right now, is the thing. Okay, so thanks to the movement, I know that this is a corner, and because of that, I know that that right there is a warp tile. So I'm gonna put Leaf here. Okay, yep, there's a Berserker in there. And now Ced is gonna go over here and grab my Torch Staff, just so that I can, what do I get rid of? I mean, I don't actually need the Restore Staff anymore. So let's go activate Torch Staff, because this is my last chance to do so. I'm pretty sure it's a C rank, which is kind of a shame, because, like, otherwise I'd use Nana for it. Okay, that's not bad. Oh, no, it's D. Okay, Nana could use the Torch Staff. Yeah, here's the thing, though. There is a whole bunch of Berserkers in there, and do I send Ced in there, force Eddie Blazing, and just go nuts on them, or do I... Because, I mean, he's gonna fatigue himself anyway. Or do I just, I probably need to heal Marita, though, especially if that guy's going to attack somebody. I suppose we're not in a hurry yet. The other group still needs to catch up, so Ced's going to go ahead and use that staff, but for now... Okay, Pern, got a little bit further back, but there are no warp tiles in this corridor apart from one in front of that door. Now, right here, so I believe this torch on this wall is a good marker. That tile right there, to the left side of this torch, that is a warp tile. There is also a warp tile there, so let's not step on those. Now, if Sarah ends up accidentally activating a warp tile, it's not the end of the world, but, I mean, she should probably just re-warp herself over to Avol now. I'm going to need to unlock that door, too. I also need to unlock the door to the main Loptrian altar itself. So, yeah, I've still got a few things I need to do. Didn't get the Vigor proc, and now Lenoan will just, I can have some... Oh, actually... LOL. This should keep them distracted. Now, actually, they're going to be triggering Wrath, aren't they? Because it's like... It's a counterattack, technically, so... If he gets attacked, he'll get Wrath, which will be pretty funny. Yeah, I still, like, if this doesn't show you just how good Starves are in Thracia, then nothing does. The fact that I was never even seriously considering Lenoan for my main team, and yet she ended up just being a useful filler deploy entirely for her Starves. I mean, either way, this guy's gonna get 4-settied, so might as well get it over with now. Sadly, no crit, so I have to use 2 uses. Yeah, 4-setting is one of those few things where both the map and the battle animations look amazing. But okay, we got you, and let's end. So my main concern right now is that Olwen is going to eventually run out of Dire Thunders. But even if that happens, also, this could be funny. Yes! Devil Axe! I don't like using the Devil Axe, like, for myself, but when enemies use it, it can be really funny. Okay. Well, I mean, I hope this means this chapter is still entertaining for people. Wow, did every single one of those either crit or get critted? I think they did. Oh, that's amazing. Now, I kind of want to not have line of sight to that room eventually, because otherwise I'm going to have to be forced to sit through these warp animations. Yeah, they're a lot faster if you can't see their initial position. Yeah, it's all a matter of, yeah, granted, maybe I should actually have her just use the Blessed Sword, because that way Hell is no threat to her, because the Jormungandrs won't be able to finish her off, because, yeah, it's been informed in the comments to me that Hell hath no fury when you have 1 HP, because it actually just tinks you then. It doesn't kill you if you're already at 1. That's actually an error by Serede's Forest. Huh, I wonder what he's doing. Is he gonna... Yes, there is one Berserker on that side of the map. He actually is gonna go down there and fight it. But okay, there are warp tiles here and here. There is also one on the door to Avol's room, but I believe if you unlock it, it won't actually warp you. Okay, Leafy Boy does still have the door key. And remember that Avol does still need to escape the map. I guess Zed will just go ahead and use Fortify to heal. So yeah, I did kind of shut down most of the danger of this map early, but rest assured that if you don't do that, like, this video would have been absolutely unbearable. The hallways would have just been clogged with enemies, and it's just a massive slog to go through. Plus, I enjoy getting my revenge on this map after it was what caused me to... I mean, I wouldn't say I rage quit, but I would say that this was the point where Thracia basically beat me. Oh, wow, I can actually berserk that guy. No, he can still use his status staff on you even if he's berserk, so let's not do that. So yeah, I think Lenoan's not really going to be doing much right now. And yeah, I do think I'm just going to switch over to the Blessed Sword. And also animations because it's fun sometimes. Nice crit there. And, yeah, she's getting pretty strong right now, even though she's dismounted. Oh, yeah, she has Miracle as well, which is, I guess, kind of nice if you're on 1 HP, but, yeah, you know what? Let's actually go ahead and use the Kia Staff now. Do I have to be a little careful of Berserkers and other stuff with Avol, because, like, her stats aren't super amazing at this point. Okay, well, I guess Avol is, not gonna see the face of her protector for long, because I would like Sarah to go back here and take, one of those HP rings that I bought for her. Maybe Ced should get the other one. Like, the thing is that, like, fatigue doesn't matter in the next map, and Ced's HP, is kind of more of a suggestion than anything. Because he just rarely ever gets hit. Aha! Oh, yes. And then that guy's gonna attack Leaf and probably die, so yeah, it's all, that's, yeah, that was actually a fun use of a Berserk Staff. Guess I can show this, though. So yeah, she has 39 resistance. She should be safe against anything, even if she gets hit by hell. We'll just have to watch the animations unfold every turn, unfortunately. Oh. Oh, right, they're warping there because that Berserker is still considered hostile. Which is not great for me if they all go there, because that's going to be a bit of a roadblock for Leaf and his crew. Are you going to where that Berserker is, or are you going to Olwen? No, you're going to where the Berserker is. Well... Oh, okay. You trapped him, so he's going to kill one of you. Oh, there's so many rewarpers. And there we go. Wait, he's capturing? I love enemy AI in this game. Like, it's amazing. That guy clearly wanted a Hell Tome. But you know what? Maybe not Sarah. So, Lenoan... Hee. I mean, that is going to tempt more of them to warp down there, though, which is a problem. So I do want to get rid of this roadblock quickly. However, I do think I also need to... Oh boy, I hope this works. And Marita should have enough movement to get to Avol. Yeah, so you don't get warped if you use an item, but now I can go ahead and talk to Avol. Yeah, this music right here is actually Avol's theme, according to the soundtrack. Yeah, well, I suppose the petrification sickness took a while to wear off. Or the last thing she remembers is Marita in the arena. Well, I mean, he ran off to the underworld, I guess, because, yeah. You know what's funny? I only recently realized that Veld was supposed to be bald, thanks to his damaged art and heroes. Don't worry, we'll deal with him soon. And we might be able to use your help. I should also mention that if you don't rescue Avol, she will meet with an even more terrible fate than being turned to stone. I'll explain in the next chapter.
I hardly recognize Lord Leaf these days. He's become quite the leader.
Avol is back, just in time for Endgame, with the exact same stats she had when she left in Chapter 5. Back then they were impressive, but now her strength leaves a lot to be desired, and she might not one-round everything. Also, strong magical enemies do stand a decent chance of one-shotting her. And she's also vulnerable to status starves. That said, she still has cap speed, she'll be doubling a lot of things, she's got the adept skill of a swordmaster, and she can use any of the swords you've amassed over the course of the game. Her supports are as good as always, as is her authority star. She's worth deploying in endgame for that alone. Recruiting Avol back is mostly a sentimental thing, that and you have to do it for a max rank playthrough, but even this late, she still has ways to contribute. It's kind of interesting because it's sort of vaguely implied that, like, being turned to stone is kind of similar to being... Nope, no warp tiles over there, good. Is, like, similar to, being anesthetized in real life, in that, like, it just feels like time skips forward. I think that's actually a one-shot, so let's do it. Yeah, these guys don't really have a lot of stats. Like, Thracia enemies have pretty low stats, but they make up for it in other way... interesting, okay. I suppose I can get rid of you too. Again, though, yeah, the warpers are really going to go in here, though, rather than to Olwen, just because of, like... the way those... Yeah, that's kind of a problem with Berserk Staves. It thinks that 3 hostile units are over there rather than just 1. So it's going to be a big priority for Berserk Staves. But, okay. Let's take one of these life rings. Get your sweet plus 7 HP. And I can get the other life ring next turn, I guess. That's actually... really nice, but also, oh yeah, also Leaf needs to head down there, because, the only reason to go this way is treasure chests, so, actually, yeah, I should have avoided this corridor. What am I thinking? Why did I put Set there? Oh, well. Yeah, no, Pern is gonna go not there. Pern is gonna go in here, because he needs to get over to that side to get those chests. And also, yeah, Avol. Being stuck with an iron blade is a little problematic, though. But yeah, she should probably focus more on escaping the map. Oh hey, I forgot she had a Vigor Star. Oh, she got 2 Vigor Stars. But okay then, yeah. Olwen will just whack these guys. I probably should kill the boss at some point. Oh, okay. Don't go there. Go there. Because that's a warp tile. Yeah, the fact there's a bunch of warp tiles so close to the end is just, yeah, it's a pain. I do like these flames. Like the terrain here looks nice, at least, but it's just a very, Oh, okay, there we go. So, now hopefully we can show off what happens if, Oh, right, okay. Oh, great, you can... Oh, please don't kill me. Are you kidding me? Okay. Restarting this after that Avol mishap, and Leaf gains move again. So that's something. Unfortunately, the fight with the Berserkers, who got Berserked didn't go as hilariously this time, but the move level's worth it. Yes, Leaf now has 11 moves, so he can just do this. And I was almost a complete moron, but Leaf is so bulky he can survive a Wrath crit, because my Leaf is ridiculous. Well, I suppose this way lets me show Leaf's recruitment conversation with Avol. Whoever doesn't recruit her can talk to her afterwards. And I think the general gist of the conversations is pretty similar. I do sort of like Avol's more plain way of speaking in this fan translation. It kind of alludes to the fact that her former self, Bridget, used to be a pirate. Maybe, I don't know if that was the exact thing. Maybe it was just an adaptation of her Japanese speaking style. The thing that I have always found really interesting about Avol as like a mentor character is that technically she's still a mentor who kinda dies like a lot of other Fire Emblem mentors, but she didn't totally get killed, she got a fate worse than death that turned out to be reversible, and instead of, like, cheapening the stakes, it actually made things really interesting, because it meant that, like, Leif was able to come back to Munster and make up for his failings. He was unable to save his mentor back then, but he's strong enough now, especially in my file where Leif is ridiculously powerful. That's sorta nice, but I also would like Sarah to get those life rings off of Pern. Okay, that's the only Berserker down here besides one in the treasure room. And there are no warp tiles on this part of the map besides the door in front of the treasure room. And now, remembering that the enemies will be able to attack you over the walls, I'm just gonna send Ced here. Yeah, there's the guy in the treasure room. Dodge that warp tile in that passageway. He didn't get caught on any of his Paragon levels. However, he did still cap strength, which is, I don't actually see Pern do that that often. Yeah, so from here, it's really just about getting everybody into the center, getting Pern to the treasure room, and grabbing all 3 of those chests, and once that's done, I can probably rescue staff him. Yeah, just be careful when you put people on the edge of that central room. And Sarah can get started on using that ring again. So there's another warp tile there. Plus 1 right at the bottom of this staircase. There, I believe. Yes. And there is also one there. I'm surprised none of them missed with their rewarp staves yet. Most of them have, I just haven't seen it. You know, Pern's at level 20, so it's not like I need to leave that guy alive for experience. Oh, okay, Ced's fatigued anyway. And so is Olwen, so that's 2 more stamina drinks I need to use. Lara was also fatigued before this chapter began, so that's why I didn't deploy her here. She's also, like, ridiculous capture bait against the Berserkers if you do deploy her. Okay, that's a decent proc. Don't put Aval around the sides of that room. Okay. I'm not sure why they did that. That guy's asleep, not berserked. So he's not, like, the enemy shouldn't be considering him a hostile thing to warp to. Oh, I guess Pern is close to that berserker, so it's like, they realize there's an enemy close to one of my allies. So, yeah, I hope they don't all go in that room, because that would kind of suck. Pern would just have to waste time clearing them all out. Maybe I should have killed that berserker. Yeah, they're all going in there, aren't they? Oh, that's unfortunate. It gives Olwen's Dire Thunder a reprieve, but still. Yeah, that's not good. And they're gonna keep doing that too. You know what? Again, Sed is fatigued anyway. Let's just re-warp him in there to make sure that we have at least one of those chests covered. Now be very, very careful around this corner because there's a warp tile. I'm going to be really, really careful here because there's warp tiles on top of these. Hang on, does he have Blizzard equipped? He might. And it begins. Yeah, this is why, like, this is what this map becomes if you don't, use the warp luring trick. These guys just, like, imagine having to deal with this for the entire chapter. Like, they just clog the hallways. Yeah, he definitely has Blizzard equipped because he's not countering them. I'm amazed that he's still dodging even with Blizzard, though. But yeah, like, they just, clog these hallways. There's just no, real, like, you just have to slowly eat your way through them. It's incredibly annoying. And yeah, trust me, this is the way more bearable way for me to handle this map. Like, in fact, it wasn't even, like, a rage quit, the reason why I just didn't finish my first playthrough of this game. I think I just kind of stopped at this point. Like, that was it. I just stopped. No real reason, I just did. And so I never ended up seeing the actual end. I just felt like I was far enough through the game, really. It had sort of made its point by now. But I normally recommend finishing most games you start, but still, yeah. If you're gonna quit at one point of Thracia, it should probably be this chapter. Yeah, this one is just a, very much a thing. You know what? If enemies are warping in here anyway, I guess we should do one of them, because if I do that, the Berserker's gonna, yeah. He's gonna end up, getting hit by ranged attacks for the most part. Pretty sure that tile's safe. Yeah, all three of these are safe. Unfortunately, Pern has my only key right now. So, the other really, really unfortunate thing about this map is that, the ranking system in this game. It's based on your turn count, and also the number of characters you have recruited and alive. This does take into account the, root split characters and the Olwen versus Ilios decision. Oh yes, I love it when enemies capture. And he's poisoned, so that guy is not going to last long. That's actually pretty nice. Because that means that you get to die, and that's one less thing for my other people to have to clear out. Sarah and Sed both have rewarp staves, so they should be able to get out of there after I rescue Pern. But Sarah is not fatigued, so I may as well do the fighting with Sed. And adept, there we go. Sometimes in my head I call it continue, because that's what the old fan translation called it. Okay, almost done. Just one more chest. In fact, that last chest is the one that doesn't matter, because that's a Master Seal, and, like, who needs Master Seals at this point in the game? Yeah, I just wonder who should take that last life ring. Like, honestly, Marita or Olwen, maybe? So, in fact, I'm gonna go ahead and... Oh, no. I should stand on that chest, just to make sure that no one can re-warp to that, so I am guaranteed to get this chest next turn. And beware the dragon statue, don't stand directly in front of it. I feel like if they made a modern remake of this game, they'd probably have some telegraph for the warp tiles. Maybe they're right in front of, like, dragon statue's eyes or something like that. I wonder what that guy's gonna do with the captured enemy. Like, it's not like he's gonna try and escape the map with him. Maybe he will. Maybe the AI doesn't discriminate between NPCs and enemies when it comes to escaping the map with somebody captured. But yeah, like I was saying, so yeah, your ranking is determined by, like, whether you recruited the maximum possible number of characters and your turn count. So to get the top rank, you need to have recruited the maximum number of people you can within one playthrough. And what that means is, that includes Avol in this chapter. Because characters who are not, like, recruited, or in Avol's case, re-recruited, are considered dead for the purposes of that ranking. So long story short, You have to play this chapter if you want to get a perfect rank in this game. So that's fun. Like, I believe the only side quest chapters that are optional would be the prison side quest chapter, because that one doesn't have any. Okay, gotta remember that we can be attacked over the wall by those guys. But yeah, the prison side quest chapter, because that one doesn't really have any recruitments in it. Though I suppose if you get somebody captured, you actually have to play that side quest chapter, because otherwise you won't be able to you won't be able to get them back in your army. Okay, that's fine. And now, yeah, Ossian can avoid stepping on that. I don't think Ossian even got to fight this entire chapter. Just realized somebody is gonna need to walk up. Not there, but there? Just so I can actually see the door and open it. Of course, Olwen could have done that too, but still. We are almost out. This long Loptrian reinforcement nightmare is nearly over. I think he actually is trying to flee the map, which is amazing. He's like, wait, I accidentally poisoned this guy. I need to get him to medical treatment. Wait, what do you mean we didn't invent a cure for our own poison? Oh, hi there. Thankfully, that was just hell. That's fine. And thankfully, she has thunder. And yeah, I removed Nosferatu from Linoan entirely because it lowers her attack speed too much, and she could have got one-shot by berserkers. Like, it'd be really funny to see the Loptrians trying to scramble to, like, find some kind of antidote to their own poison and then realize, oh wait, we never made an antidote because we're evil. And the only Loptrian who could use Restore Staff lost his in the last map and got silenced. I do kind of wish they... I mean, granted, it would have made this game way more difficult, but I do kind of wish they had more enemies with Restore Staffs. This feels like a minor waste of rescue, but I think this should guarantee that I get the door open with Pern this turn. Granted, I might have to rescue, Ossian later if I want to speed things up. Okay, yeah, just gotta make sure that we don't go to the very edge of that wall. Okay, yeah, door, and now, oh, right, the moment Ced gets out of that room, the rewarpers are gonna converge in here instead. Though, am I okay with that? It's possible that I may be okay with that. Firstly, you will pay for what you did to her mother. One thing that is admittedly pretty cool about like Marita and Avol is it's a kind of a rare positive portrayal of adoption for like a Japanese game in this era. Because nobody really denies that Avol is like Marita's real mother. Speaking of Avol, we're going to be getting some extra dialogue with her later, and you know what, why not? Let's give her a chance to show her skills one last time. I don't know if I'll be bringing her to endgame, unfortunately. Hey, she crit, nice. And yeah, like I said, should she really get out? I don't know. I mean, Olwen is, okay, there are no enemies in here. What's your oh, wait, no, oh no, if you use rescue, wait, no, is rescue B or A? It's B. I actually think Sarah using rescue will put her just barely not fatigued. I want to say. Because if I do this, if I trade for rescue, use it on Ossian. Okay, good. I still, if he had ended up on the warp tile, I don't think it would have warped him. But, okay, I really hope this doesn't end horribly. Because it all depends on where the rewarp enemies go towards. Because most of us are close to... I think some of us aren't able to get out this turn, though. Okay, they didn't rewarp at all, because none of us are close to an enemy. That's great. Yeah, Lenoan. Oh, Lenoan and Ossian can't get out, so I have to wait one more turn. Just need to make sure I don't have anyone step on that last warp tile, but yeah, we can start getting out now. Bit weird to be escaping with Ced first. And yeah, we get to see Ced's escape quote. And Olwen, you did really, really well, like seriously? Olwen actually was kind of an est in this playthrough. She started out, like, fairly weak, but... Oh, right, I was gonna give the life ring to somebody. I guess Sarah can leave. There's the strength ring and the shield ring, too. I mean, why don't you just use the shield ring on yourself? Means you can't escape this turn, but I'm gonna need to escape next turn anyway. Use that, because sometimes her avoid's a bit unreliable. And yeah, like I said, I was morbidly curious to warp somebody into the execution chamber just to see how many snipers and heroes are in there right now, but I suspect there's only the starting two. Because, like, if they can't get warped, I feel like they just stood on their stairs and blocked the rest of the reinforcements. I wouldn't mind Ossian taking the strength ring, but that would delay me one more turn. I mean, he can do it in the next chapter. I mean, hopefully they're doing okay under Arion, but let's get you out. Is this our first time seeing Aval's escape quote? I think it probably is. Don't do anything stupid, like getting me killed in that alternate timeline, because you forgot that Loptrians could shoot magic over the wall. Yes! Yes, she is! She's right there! I mean, that quote, I mean, I suppose it still works, but yeah. So now it's just Leaf? Let's leave. And now we get kind of the real reward for playing this map, a gigantic bit of dialogue with basically everybody who ever knew Aval. Having a conversation with her. Like, I don't know if I should be, like, really saying this, but, there's a lot of people who think that Kaga has a problem with writing women. I honestly think that Aval is one of the best written female characters by Kaga. I mean, I know that she does technically get damseled or fridged, but, like, she serves her role as a mentor until that point, and her actual character is really good in most of her interactions. I like Aval a lot. I'm sure that if this game ever got a remake, she'd probably be a fan favorite. Like, especially with, like, the addition of full voice acting. Oh no, I forgot about that line. Oh, great, yeah. There's some vague adoptive sibling romance vibes with Leaf and Nana. That's, like, the one problem that I have with it. But at the very least, it's, you know, not nearly as bad as some examples, like Fire Emblem Fates and the like, yeah. Dang it. Because, yeah, kind of like Alma and Celica, Leaf and Nana feel more like childhood friends than siblings, yeah. If only he said that just Marita he thought of as a sister, but yep. Yeah, that was the light brand, pretty sure, yep. Which means Aval wouldn't be able to use it anyway. Although I wonder if it's more of just a sentiment thing, the reason why it's a pref weapon. Like, either Leaf's the only one who's, like, practiced enough to use the magic of it. Granted, the light brand wasn't even a pref weapon in Fire Emblem 4 either. It was actually given to Ethlyn by Deirdre, Sigurd's wife, as kind of a sister-in-law present. But, yeah, anyone could use it back in that game. And yeah, this is another reward for getting this. You get a bit of backstory on Avol. Did I have a husband? Kids? Yes, you did, if you played Genealogy, though it's unclear who that husband was, but she definitely does have kids. Yeah, Avol's just so great. She's also a very unique Jagan as well. I remember back when one of the first things I heard about Avol, like, as a Fire Emblem unit, was, like, reading an article saying, like, this was back when Wikipedia used to still do gaming articles, like, actual, like, sort of game guide articles, this was before, like, games had their own wikis. So yeah, there was an article on Jagans, or no, actually on Fire Emblem archetypes, and it mentioned, like, that Avol was a rare example of one being a Jagan who's a swordmaster, not a paladin, and that was the first I learned about her, and I thought that was really interesting. Like, having a swordmaster as, like, your early pre-promote. And she's also just interesting mechanically because, like, she has that thing of, like, she kills things, but early in the game you want to capture, so you need to show a bit of restraint with her because she's not good at capturing enemies like Dagdar is. And yes, her mother is canonically turned to stone, according to Shozor Kaga's design notes, in the E Desert somewhere. So yeah, again, there needs to be, like, a vague spin-off / hypothetical DLC where Diarmid and Nana go into the desert and go, they made a vow, their mother will be found, Nana underground. And speaking of Dagdar, yeah, Dagdar talks here if he's alive. If he isn't alive, he'll also meet with a terrible fate in the next chapter. And even Tanya, too, yeah. Like, it's just, I love these moments in these Fire Emblem games where, like, everybody, even the people who, you know, normally don't have dialogue later on because they can potentially die, they show up and, like, just have dialogue later on in the game. It's really nice. It's like, I like how they don't forget the fact that Avol was the leader of the Fianna Freeblade, so all of them owe a lot to her, and all of them get to say their piece when she comes back. It's also kind of interesting because Fianna, if you look at the map of, like, Genealogy Chapter 8, Fianna is there. There's a village down in that part of the map that is probably where Thracia based Fianna on. And, of course, Marita herself is gonna be able to speak. And Galzus. We get some closure on this if he's recruited and alive. Because Avol's the entire reason Galzus joined us to begin with. Yeah, I guess I am her biological dad. And he's also, technically Isakian royalty. I still absolutely just love this. It's just like Thracia, I've mentioned this before, but Thracia is very interesting in terms of its cast. They are either incredibly boring and have, like, no dialogue at all, like Kane and Alva and Roberts, or they're like people like Galzus and Marita, who are technically, like, optional recruits who can just die, but they also have a ton of development and dialogue in the main story. Like, Olwen as a whole character arc is just... Thracia's cast is, I think, actually one of the better casts in this series. Like, as far as, like, the games without supports, I'd probably rank Thracia's cast the best. I mean, Genealogies is pretty good too, but, like, I guess that game technically has supports via the Lover system. And even Finn, yeah, there's a lot of dialogue here, but yep. Like, this is one of the few times, I know I rag on Karga for excessive dialogue sometimes, I'm okay with it here. Like, Avol deserves it. And we finally get the reveal here. And this right here is something that I can talk about. Yeah, she pretty much is like Ula reborn. If you see what Ula looks like in Heroes, she's pretty similar to her kind of descent. Yeah, no, her actual descendant. You know, it's the. She's not like the literal god that gave the blood to them. She's actually the Crusader who is was the progenitor of that bloodline. Also, oh boy, Yufel, yeah, that weapon that created a Mandela effect in Japanese Japanese culture. So, the thing that I want to say here is, there's a lot of people who, these days, are actually taken to pairing Finn with Bridget in Genealogy. Now, this is very difficult to pull off, because Bridget joins right before Finn leaves your party in Generation 1. So you really have to just have them sit next to each other for, like, a bajillion turns at the end of Chapter 3 of Genealogy. But it's really, really interesting, the implications that it gives for Thracia. If, like, you know, Avol is actually Finn's amnesiac wife the whole time, and that he doesn't really work up the courage to tell her until the end, but, again, totally optional. Pairings in Genealogy are malleable, except Lewin and Erinys, which is totally canon. But anyway, yeah, Chapter 24X is done, that nightmare is finally over. Had to get me once, though, didn't it? Because, of course. And next time, we end this. The finale of Thracia 776, where we face not only Veld, but he's brought some help. Help in the form of 6 very dead, very lordly people. See you all then.